Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Generation 1 Megatron, and I love this toy. Real quick guys, just a reminder that my lens is not dirty. If you see spots on the screen, it's because I dropped my phone and I've got a couple of dead pixels. So for everybody leaving me those messages, no, my lens is not dirty. Just a quick reminder. Okay, released in 1984, this guy retailed for approximately $20. And here you have it. It's the original gun Megatron. You don't get to see Megatron transform into a gun anymore. So this is really, really cool. He is a Walther P-38 with a few extensions, not something that you get to see very commonly. So he's got a buttstock extension right here in the back. He's got a silencer in the front, and he's got a scope. Now, if you've never seen the Walther P-38 with these extensions, if you've never seen the show Man from U.N.C.L.E., go watch that show, especially if you like spy movies and spy TV shows, stuff like James Bond. I know that I'm a big fan of James Bond, so stuff like Man from U.N.C.L.E. and The Kingsman and stuff like I tend to gravitate to movies and television shows like that. Even Get Smart. Get Smart was hilarious. So if you've never seen the Man from U.N.C.L.E., one of the lead characters carried a P-38 with these extensions. So you get to see an actual real life application to the Walther P-38 with these extensions. They didn't do it in the movie, which was a little disappointing, but the movie was incredibly good too, so go watch that. Okay, so here in gun mode, Megatron is approximately 21 inches long. This guy is huge, and I actually have to back up quite a bit, which is why you're not seeing my hands a whole lot, because from where I'm at, I can't actually reach him. I had to back up quite a bit to show him in this configuration. 21 inches long. If you take all the extensions off, which we're about to do here in a minute, it's going to be, the gun alone is about 7 inches long. So he did come with a couple of accessories. There's this gun right here, which we're going to show off in robot mode. He comes with a sword, which again, we're going to show off in robot mode. And then he came with two of these sprues with little pellets in them. I should mention that this is the Encore version that was released in August of 2007 for approximately 5,500 yen, which in today's conversion is approximately $50 as of the time of this recording. The American released Megatron, the original American released Megatron, if I'm informed correctly, because I never had this one as a kid, did not have the pellets and did not have the actual pellet launching system. None of the American release ones ever did, as far as I've been able to research. So only the Japanese ones did. So that's really, really cool. In fact, let's get in a little closer and show that off. So what you would do is you would come in on the top here. There's a little slot. In fact, you can do this with the scope still mounted, but just for the video, I'm going to take it off so you can see what that looks like. So there's a little slot right there. And what you would do is you would take one of these pellets, and you only do this one at a time. Slap one of the pellets in there. And if you can see in there, there's two little clips. The pellet just kind of clips into those, well, yeah, the pellet just kind of falls into those two clips. And then all you have to do is squeeze the trigger, and there you go. I've just lost my pellet. So that's pretty much how that works in gun mode. And so, yeah, he came with 20 of those. So you can just do that over and over and over until you lose them all. So you can see here, taking a closer look at the gun, right there we have Walther P-38 inscribed right into the side of the gun. So if you didn't have any of these Decepticon symbols, you could pass this off as a gun, which is, reason why this toy got in so much trouble. This was the big one when I was in school. We were not allowed to bring Megatron to school. This is another one of those that we had that rule. If you keep it in robot mode, you're okay. If you turn it in the gun mode, you're going to lose it. But eventually, Shockwave and Galvatron, we could still bring those in. Megatron eventually got banned altogether from my school. Not even in robot mode. Like no Megatrons. Bring them in, you're going to lose them. So taking a closer look, here is the scope right there. Or sorry, the silencer, and then the scope up top, and finally the buttstock extension. So these guys come off real easy. They're just on sliders, so you can just slide that off. You saw that I could slide the scope right off the top there, and then the silencer is also going to slide right off of the barrel, which is actually very incorrect. Silencer scopes usually tend to hang on, I got this backwards. Yeah, silencer scopes tend to screw in rather than slide off. But there you go. Here's the extensions, and then we're left with Megatron as a gun alone. There you go. So, and again, very, very nicely detailed. I love the chrome on this guy. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful toy. In later releases, they gave him an orange barrel or an orange cap, and I think the cap was removable. But there you go. And then you can still, of course, pop in your little pellet. And you're probably going to get a little better travel now because you don't have to travel out of that silencer. So you're probably going to get a little better. Yeah, see, it actually shot a little harder that time. So there you go. There's Megatron in gun mode. So let's get him transformed in the robot mode. So for robot mode, we are going to, where am I going to start? I'm going to start with the legs. I'm just going to extend the legs right there. And then I'm going to come to the bottom here and slide these forward. That's going to be the feet. These are just going to clip into place. Go ahead and separate the bottom of the buttstock or the handle here, and these are going to separate, and they are on two hinges there and there. So just slide these all the way forward, just like that. There you go. Go ahead and bring this part down. This is going to be the head. Separate this top piece, bring this up, separate it, and they got two hinges there and there. So bring these all the way down, and then just kind of point them up for the time being, just like that, just to get them out of the way. This front part of the housing, go ahead and slide this up, just like that. You'll see that the barrel instantly came loose. Rotate this, and then the barrel is going to swivel back, and then on this hinge, rotate all the way down and under until it sits under his chest, just like that. Now you can come back here, bring this entire thing up and over. Bring the head up, there you go. And then go ahead and extend the arms, and then inside of the arm right there is a slider. Right there's a slider, so you can reach in there and pull the fist out. And I'll go ahead and do that on this one this way so we can see it. So extend the arm, get the slider, pull the fist out, and this guy was all the way forward like this. And there you have Megatron in his robot mode. Make sure that your feet are clipped in. And then, of course, finally, we're going to want to give him his most important detail. Let's bring the camera up just a little bit. There you go. And that is going to be to give him his scope on his arm. Because Megatron without a scope, come on. There you go. Megatron hit with a scope in his arm. Back him up some. Straighten him out, and there you go. Megatron in gun mode, and how awesome does he look? Sure, he doesn't look exactly like he did in the cartoon. Very G1, but he still looks awesome. Here in robot mode, Megatron is approximately 7 inches tall. Lots of chrome, lots of very beautiful detail on him. Bringing him in close to look at the head, and see if I can get the lighting a little better. And there you go. Look at that head. It's just a really, really cool head. And just all the detail, you know, he's got the little inscriptions here on the chest with the Decepticon symbol there. Now, yeah, I'm not the original owner of this. I am actually the second owner of this figure. So the previous owner put the stickers on for me. So some of these stickers have a little bit of wear. So that's unfortunate. But I might repro label him up later. For articulation, all you're going to get really is you're going to get the arm. You're going to get a 360 all the way around on the arm, and the legs can kind of, you know, move in and out a little bit. A lot of people will do this is my preferred way of standing him, but I have seen that a lot of people will bring this hinge out like so, and this will give him a lot more stability. I don't think that this looks good, but I see that a lot of people will stand them up like this. And this will work really well in a mode later that we're going to do with the extensions. We can build this weapon for him. We're going to do that here in a minute. And this will work very well for giving him stability in that mode. But as far as just standing up as a robot, I don't think this looks good at all. I display him on my shelf like this. I think that just looks better that way. So now we talked about the extensions, so let's bring those back in. And we can do a couple of things with these. The first one is going to be a platform, like this little gun platform. So go ahead and take the buttstock, separate that in half. The bottom of the buttstock here, this is going to split, and then you're going to split these in half just like this. Just rotate them out, just like that. And does this one come off? That one does come off, but we're not going to take that one off for now. That's for later. Okay. So there we have the first part of our base for our extension. And then we are going to need Mr. Megatron's scope here. So we'll set Megatron off to the side. Something fell on my foot. There you go. All right, let's see. We're going to take this off. We are going to slide the scope right there on the top. Bring this peg down, just like that. And then we're going to take this part that we removed from the stock earlier. We're going to plug this in right there, just like so. And we're going to reach in here. Actually, before we do that, let me show this up closer. You can see right in there, there's a little divot. So you can reach in there with your nail and pull out these handles, just like that. And then you can go ahead and plug this back in. Take this little piece right here that was left over. Just plug it in on the bottom there. And I'm never sure if it goes forwards or backwards. I think backwards is probably better. That gives it, no, forward works too. And take this peg, plug it into that hole right there. And here you have Megatron's gun stand, which is kind of enormous. There you go. So it just makes like this gigantic gun stand for Megatron to fire off of. And this works really, really good. Now, you've got these handles here, and then you've also got these peg holes inside of Megatron's arms. So you can, in fact, get Megatron to stand and hold the handles of this gun stand. It's a little awkward getting him to do it, but it can be done. There you go, just like that. Nope, just when I say just like that, he lets go. There you go. So there he is, pegged in all the way. So now you've got Megatron manning this big, gigantic gun stand, which is really, really cool. And I bring him over to this side because what I want to show off is that the pellet gimmick still works in this mode. You notice that this back piece right here, this was originally part of the buttstock. This also has a slider and it's got a little lever. So you can actually transfer the pellet gimmick here to this mode. So you're going to load it up the exact same way that we loaded him up in gun mode, just like that. And again, you can do this all together. While it's put all together, I just kind of took it apart so that you could see it in the video. And then we're going to pull this slider back, and that is where it's going to shoot our pellet right there. So not as strong as the one in the actual built-in gun, but there it is. So okay, recover that pellet, set that aside. So there's a cannon mode. Now this next one, this is not official. I don't think it's official, but it's something that I do. Is in fact is the way that I display it. Typically, what I tend to do is I take these apart, and you can set that there, put these away. And then you can take this piece right here will actually slide into the back of this launching gimmick here. So you can actually set that there. And you can put the scope back on here if you wish, or you can leave it off. And then this would actually work as some kind of a cannon emplacement for a smaller figure. Something like an Eject or a Frenzy or a Rumble would actually be able to sit on here. So this is actually how I display it on my shelf, just because it takes up less space. And of course, you know, Megatron has a scope. I don't think this is official, but it can be done. So there's that. And then finally, we have Megatron's shotgun, or not shotgun, but his, what was it called? It was called so this first one that we saw here just now was called the particle beam cannon. And now we have the telescopic laser cannon. So we'll put that away. And let's see if I can remember how to do this one. Let's see. So for this one, yeah, we're going to start with Megatron, actually. We're going to take a scope here, and we're going to rotate it all the way to the back, just like that. Set Megatron aside. And for this one, again, you can bring the legs out, and it actually does work a little better in this mode, just to give them a little bit of stability. Just like that. We'll set them aside for now. We're going to take the big scope. And let's see, we're going to want to take the smaller scopes, pegs into the side here, or slides rather, into the side. Am I doing it on the right one? Yes, I am. So this is going to slide in just like that. I believe we're going to take peg down, and then this piece is going to peg in on the bottom. Finally, we're going to take, again, the launcher, or the shooting part, and plug this into the back right there. We're not going to need these ones for this mode. Now we're going to take Megatron here, and we are going to slide. If you remember, this part here originally slid as part of the silencer. This slid into the barrel of the gun. So we're going to do the same thing. This is going to slide right into the barrel of the gun, up and over Megatron's shoulder. And it's just going to sit up over his shoulder, and then the scope is going to sit right in front of his face. I don't know if I'm pushing this in all the way. There you go. I don't think I was pushing that in all the way. Well, maybe I was. So there you go. It stays in that far. And then Megatron's scope is going to sit right in front of his face like that. It's kind of weird, but there you go. It's a shooting mode for Megatron. So again, you can load up the pellet right here in the back. It's going to be a little difficult to see here on this one. In fact, let me just pick up the camera. So you can just load up the pellet just like that, and then you can just pull on the lever one more time, and there you go. You can shoot the pellet that way. So that's called the telescopic laser cannon for Megatron. We'll turn them this way so you can see it a little better. There you go. Now, one more that I like to do, and this one is, again, not official, but it's sort of a kind of like a little shooting mode that I came up with for Megatron, and I'm probably not the first person to think of this, I'm sure, but we'll go ahead and do it. Bring his legs back to normal, and bring his scope back around again. And I'm going to need the shooting mechanism, and I'm going to need his normal scope. Everything else we're going to set aside. So I'm going to give him his telescope so that he looks like normal Megatron once again. Extend his arm, stand him up straight. And then, real simple, all I'm going to do is I'm going to, load him up, take the little shooting mechanism, and I'm just going to stick it in the back of his barrel right here. So this is what I do to simulate Megatron shooting lesser Autobots. And as you can see, it doesn't hold real well. It's just kind of like a play feature that I came up with. And you can just hold that right there, and, you can shoot. You can't really see what I'm doing, can you? Let me go on this side of the camera. So again, you can, just kind of hold that there in place, and then you can shoot Autobots for, such heroic nonsense, as you can see. And then that would kill him. Instead of bouncing off his chest and flying across the room and having no idea where my pellet just landed. So there you go. There's my non-official shooting mechanism for G1 Megatron. But there you go. Absolutely love this toy. Again, like I said, this is one that I never had as a kid. I had to chase him down for quite a while until I found him for a good price, and I am so happy that I finally got one, and that I got this version with the shooting mechanism. It's just, it's kind of like a proud piece in my collection, my G1 collection, that I have an actual pellet shooting Megatron. Absolutely love it. And I almost forgot. I can't believe I almost forgot to do this. Let me back him up a little bit more so that we can see him better. There we go. And I can't believe I almost forgot to do this. His weapons. He brought weapons for his robot mode. So the first weapon we're going to look at is he came with this very chromed out laser gun. Why Megatron needs a gun, I will never know, but they always packed him with a gun. So what you do is, there's not really a peg or anything to speak of in this gun. All you do is mount this over his hand, so it just kind of hugs his hand. And I don't know if this is supposed to look like he's holding it, or like it grew out of his arm. Like we all know, Transformers can just transform weapons out of their arms. We saw Megatron do it in the very first episode with the mace, which, by the way, there's another version of this figure that comes with that mace or that flail, whatever you want to call it. This is not that version, unfortunately. But there you go. He can, quote-unquote, transform that out of his arm or hold that weapon. So there you go. There's a laser rifle for him, which I've never displayed this thing. I always have this thing put away. I actually had to dig up the box to get this thing out because I always have this thing put away. So there you go. There's the gun for Megatron. And then finally, he's also got this gigantic sword. This thing is really cool. Very gigantic, very cool. So the way that this works, it's got a peg right here on the side of the gun, or on the side of the sword, rather. And as you saw earlier, Megatron does have some peg holes on the insides of his arm, or his hands, rather. So you can just plug that right in there, and then Megatron can hold his very large, very heavy sword. There you go. So there's Megatron holding his sword, and he can hold it in either arm, but of course the scope's going to get in the way if you try to hold it in the other arm. But there you go, Megatron holding his sword. So All right, so those are his two weapons that he came with, apart from everything else. I mean, Megatron is a weapon himself, so I don't really see a need for the other two. I would have rather gotten the flail, really. I really would love to get my hands on one of those flails. Mace, flail, whatever. Oh, don't start. Okay, so we'll get him back in frame one more time. And I think that about covers Generation 1 Megatron. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time.